All right. Good night, everybody. I am here with Tanya Cameron, the wonderful founder of Shades of Africa, and we are here to discuss her strategies and her journey of going global from within the Caribbean. So if you don't know me, I am Dr. Tamu Petra-Browne. I'm founder of Innovative Education and Training, and of course, Coaching by Tamu, where I work with Caribbean female entrepreneurs to help them build scalable and innovative ventures with world-class value delivery and global impact. And certainly, Tanya embodies that. She is, of course, a Caribbean female entrepreneur. She's doing business globally, and she delivers world-class service. So Tanya, tell the people hello and give a brief introduction before we get into the meat of the matter.
Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I'm Tanya Cameron, Managing Director, Shades of Africa, Kingston, Jamaica. Shades of Africa is an international brand. We customize male and female clothing, mostly Afrocentric design. We do other designs, but our main focus, our niche market is Afrocentric clothing.
So thank you for that introduction. So let me just give the viewers, when you eventually view this, some context. So I would have met Tanya years ago, I think during COVID. It might have been during COVID, I believe, but it was an engagement that I had with COVID. Before COVID?
Yes, it was in COVID, yes.
Okay, during COVID, right. And I was consulting with Caribbean Export Development Agency and working with Caribbean founders to help them grow their businesses outside of their borders. So we were working on exportation and export plan as part of this Services Go Global initiative by Caribbean Export Development Agency. So I've known Tanya for some time, and we're always keeping in touch. She's a great support, and she's always doing awesome things. So we're always on the DMs in the Instagram, and she's always keeping me up to date. So Tanya, can you talk to me about, or talk to us about the beginning, right? Like, when did it come to you that, you wanted to delve into fashion, but with this Afrocentric context? So talk to us about your journey.
Okay, my journey with Shades of Africa started 20 years ago, June of this year, make it 21 years. Over the years, we have noticed the Jamaican market. There was not a designer that was avoiding the industry where mainstream designers were not embracing the Afrocentric designs. And as a designer, we'll have clients will come in and ask, how can they embrace the heritage? And because they have not seen any department stores or local designers embracing the African fashions. So I did a research on the market. I did my due diligence, and then I realized that there was a demand for Afrocentric clothing because persons really wanted to embrace the culture. However, they did not want to wear the traditional garbs. They wanted something more westernized, like we use the regular fabric incorporated with the Afrocentric fabric. So I took it upon myself to visit the continents, and I've learned the trade, the fashion, the culture, the fabrics, the information, and then I took it back to Jamaica and started creating fashions, which have been very much accepted locally. And so so based on that, that is how we actually started. Myself, the founder, and I also have a partner.
So talk to me about your visit to the continent. When was that? How many times have you visited since that? And what did that do for, ensuring that you represented the culture, the Afrocentricity in its authenticity? What was it like visiting the continent?
Wow, 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 wow. How can I say about wow? I was blown away. From the moment I landed, they treated me like I was a part of them, from through customs. They were like really nice. Then, he was like, "Oh my God, you're Jamaican. Please come in this line. You're a citizen now," and that kind of
Oh,
feeling. Until
wow.
you feel like this is where it begins, and I was so blown away by the hospitality, the love. And then the following day, I get to visit the markets. Oh my God. I sat there for like hours.
Which country, Tanya?
I
On the
visited, I visited during my visit, it was 1 month. So I visited Nigeria. My first stop when I landed from Jamaica, my first stop was in Ghana. A couple of days later, I went to Nigeria. Then I went to Cote d'Ivoire, and then I went to Senegal.
Wow. Oh,
Yes, so it was one of those, I wanted to experience the culture because I wanted to know more in terms of fashion, how they make the fabric, the history behind the symbols. And, we always hear all these stories about the symbols and what they represent and what they mean. So
mhm.
I I spent the last cent that I had because I really wanted to do
Ah,
it. So if I'm going to do it, I need to know the culture, I need to know the fabric, I need to know how to design. So I met with a lot of creatives, and I went into the factories where they make the fabric, the dyes, the painting, and it was a wonderful experience. Everything was so vibrant, I like the colors, and that was one of the main reasons why I really, really got into the African fabrics, the vibrancy, the excitement. When you're working with African fabric, you feel a sense of happiness, this joy just comes over you. And that is how I felt when I visited the motherland. It was the colors, the people, the smile, and yeah, it was an awesome, awesome experience. So all that information and all that experience through fashion, through the history, through art, even through music, because I get a chance to visit some of the artists. And, we had a one-to-one in terms of creating designs for them. And that was really interesting, which, we eventually did. So that was my first experience in actually exporting. My first line went to Nigeria.
oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yes.
So
So
talk to me before we move on about your mindset, because I know, so many women talk about, when I would talk to my clients and I would tell them, you need to get more exposure. You need to hone your craft. You need to travel. You need to see. You need to experience. Were you fearful initially?
of course you are nervous because you're doing this thing. Mine, I have years of experience in management, but to actually just get up and go out there and you don't know what if you're gonna get a return on your investment or you're gonna lose your whole investment. But you felt that way. But eventually you get over it and you said, why not try this? I mean, I've done
Mm-hmm.
my due diligence, I did my marketing, and whatever comes, fear, I will just accept it gracefully. And I remember someone asked me recently, what makes why am I still in the business? And you know, in terms of so many persons in the industry over the years, just, you know, doesn't make it. So I was like, you know, I said, you know what, I suffer joyfully. I enjoy what I do. Yes. So you have to have a purpose and you have to have a reason why you're doing what you're doing. And I know with perseverance and discipline, because that was one of the main things that I had. I was very disciplined. So I'm going out there and I decided to participate in courses, small courses. Everywhere there is a there is a there is a accelerator program, both locally, internationally. I'll be jumping it because I know knowledge is power. And just the same problem, the same way I went into the Caribbean export market training, and I met you, and you know, so over the years I have, you know, I have learned a lot in terms of going to the trade events. Mentorship is very important. Coaching is in. I would tell anyone that is want to venture into business or in business, they definitely need a coach to guide you along the way. And that's what really helped us to be where we are now. You know, all these different coaches locally, internationally, and that's what keep us going. So it's important, even though you're nervous, as long as you have your right coach with you to hold your hands, you know, you're going to make it. You just have to make up your mind that you're going to do this. And yeah, and just as I said, find the right coaches, find mentorship. There's a lot of I've been blessed to have a lot of mentors. I had bankers, lawyers, and stuff, you know. So what we did over the years, we had like outside, like a board, you know, like advisor board.
Like your advisory board. Yes.
Yeah. So we had over with 6 or 8 of 6, yeah, 6. We started out with 6. We now have 8. So they're like retirees, you know, and they have so many wealth of knowledge. So we kind of loop them into the business, and you know, they kind of advise us as we go along. So
You talk to me a little bit more about how you structure your advisory board. Do you do it formally? What is the makeup of that? Because I don't think that that is something that a lot of Caribbean people do, or Caribbean entrepreneurs, in terms of creating this advisory board.
it's very important to have an advisory board. We do have like we do draft a contract, and it's more like guidelines, and we have where we are now, where we want to be. And we have a group of accountants. So no advisory board, we have an accountant, we have a lawyer, we have a PR person. He was a former ambassador of Jamaica, Canada, and Russia. We have a creative director, Weston Horton. We have my son. He's 15 years old, but he's blessed with knowledge.
It's
I'm
brilliant
telling
too.
you,
Yeah.
brilliant. Yes, he's also on our advisor board. So in terms of, he advises on the latest trend and marketing. He's very good at graphics and marketing and ideas and stuff like that. So he's on our advisor board. I also have a lecturer that used to teach me at UTech. He's the marketing. He's a lecturer. So he's one of the advisor on our board. So we do have a pool of talents, you know, that guide us as we go from day to day. Because, you know, as an entrepreneur, we need all the help that we can get. And as I always
Certainly.
tell other entrepreneurs, that there's a lot of retirees, professionals who are willing and able to help you if you just asked. You know, you can join some of these small associations, and then you'll meet them. They're there. And then you ask them, you know, tell them what the business is about, and then you ask them to come in and assist you, and they will. So that's what I
Yes.
did.
Well,
Yes.
that is I think a best practice, and I'm want to thank you for being so open about that, because that's definitely a teaching point for the persons who will be looking at this program. And so, you said that your first line went to Nigeria, and then, you would have come back home. And to me, what was so novel about your business and so exciting about your business when I met you was the idea of exporting fashion, though the fashions were in Jamaica, right? Because, this was well before the time of all of this internet and,
Yeah.
maybe online fittings, etc. I mean, you were doing this well before all of this. And so the idea of, exporting from within the Caribbean was so intriguing to me. So could you tell me, like, tell us, how did you work through the logistics of that, the fittings? Of course, without giving away your trade secrets, but I feel like it would have been something very, very daunting to do. So talk to us about, how you work through the ideation to create a process that has allowed you to export and go global from within the region.
Okay, not a problem. Okay. Shades of Africa is also an image consultant. So, and we as a designer or fashion house, our partnership with the African continents have been from the inception of Shades of Africa. So what we do, we partner with our suppliers, our designers and tailors in Africa. And how we manage the logistics, we try to, okay, before the whole internet, social media, we have been doing this. So what we do, we'll set up a measurement chart, color chart, and then we normally use to fax it. I guess we don't use fax anymore.
Right.
Right. And I know we never used to have much of a camera and all these, fancy gadgets like no, but so what we'll do, we'll communicate through fax. We do a lot of faxing. So we'll sketch the design and we'll send it. And then what I will do, we'll partner with tailors and designers, and they will actually send the clients, if they're in that part of the world, to send the clients to the tailor. They take the measurements, and then they will send the measurement to us. It's like an agent, they send the measurement to us and we make the item and ship it, right? Since we now have Zoom and all this WhatsApp and stuff, it's now easier. What we do is set up an appointment, a Zoom appointments for persons who wish to have their measurements taken. But although we have a measurement chart online, not everyone understands how to take the measurement, although detailed guidelines are there. So what we do, we set up appointments and we set up a Zoom appointments, and then all we ask the client to do is to have a tape measure and somebody to assist in taking the measurement. So we'll guide them how to put the tape measure, and then it's easier for us because for us now, all we need to see is a photograph of a client and we know exactly the size. We have done that
so many times now.
Then clients just send us the photograph. I just said, oh, take a photograph, maybe into a tights or something, and then we know if you're small, medium, large, and then we'll just make the item, and all the time it fits. And sometimes how accurate we were in terms of getting the exact measurement, and sometimes when they're taking the measurement, sometimes it's just the basic we need. So once they do the basic, then we use that as a guideline, and then we make the fabulous outfit or our jewelry, whatever we're making, and then we ship it. We have the only challenge we have most times to ship these items is the shipping
Right.
cost. Yeah, it's a little
That's what I
heavy.
was wondering. Yes, that's what I was wondering in terms of the logistics and the cost associated with that.
Right. There is a cost which is we okay, we here in Jamaica, for instance, we have the postal service, Jamaica Postal Service, which we can use, and the prices are not
Yes.
bad. It takes longer to get to you. They also have they have express services, but it's still a little expensive, but most of our clients don't mind it because they know they are getting quality products, so they actually pay for that service.
Okay.
Right. Yeah,
Are
but
there
the
other challenges that you face or have
logistics,
faced?
that was one of the main pain that we have. No, not for myself alone, not for Shades of Africa alone, but when you speak to other businesses,
Yes.
most time they will call me and say, "Oh, Miss Shades," that's what they call me. How do I ship this thing to Russia? How do I ship this thing to Ghana?
Ah,
Because them say, "Oh, I see you shipping. I mean, how do you do it?" So I can have to give them an
mhm,
idea. Okay, maybe you can go here. And another thing we have partners with um, creatives, fashion designers and stuff all over the world. Some of them are Jamaicans. So when you go on these
mhm.
trade shows and stuff, and if we make, say for instance, a clothing and a design and it don't fit, then we know we have somebody in that area.
Ah, I see.
So
To
that's
do
part
the adjustments or any fine
of
tailoring that might need.
anywhere. So right now we're actually really global. We're almost in every part of the world. There's somebody.
Mm,
So if we ship a particular item and it needs some little modification, thank God so far we don't have much. I mean, apart from one, maybe the skirt may be a little too long, but
mhm.
apart from that, yeah. So what we did is to make sure that we form partnerships. So if we have any, and that helps too in terms of if they have to send back the item, it wouldn't make sense. There's somebody there who can actually, you know, fix it,
Yes. Fix
alter it.
it.
Yes, on spot, you get it and you go, or you can actually, if you're a little distance away, you can use the regular
Mhm.
courier.
Mm,
But I'm grateful. We are grateful so far, Shades of Africa, that we don't have that kind of problem in terms of fitting and items are not fitted properly or stuff like that. So yeah. And the next thing we have really is payment gateways, which is another hurdle.
right.
Yes. We have a website, shadesofafricajm.com, and
Yes.
the gateway is PayPal. And you know how that
Mhm.
works.
Yes.
Yes, it takes a while to get the funds to your local
Yes.
account. There
Mhm.
are other ways in which you can get the funds, but it's still costly because they're everywhere you
Mhm.
turn, there are fees. So whichever
Have you
gateway is
tried
convenient.
have you tried Wise, Tanya?
Yes, we try, but it's not accepted in Jamaica.
Oh,
Right. So why is this not? I remember your class. We did. I mean, you got the first time.
yes, we did
Why?
Wise and Stripe and
Yeah, that just your class.
right.
I heard all. I'm telling the truth. Most of the your training was really, really, really helpful for Shades of Africa. We have implemented almost every single thing, and that's why we're doing that well because we take your
You,
advice. Yes, and even that
you.
wave accounting and all these
Yes.
different things. We look at it and we look at all the other, you know, information, and we worked with it. So yes, the gateway is
Mhm.
still an issue. Um, we have seen quite a few, gateways here coming on stream, but it's
Mhm.
still costly,
Yes.
still costly because when you price your product, you have to add all these costs.
Yes.
And you can price yourself out of the business. the good thing for us is
Okay.
that we offer value in terms of we're a niche market. So, it
Mhm.
is not, and most of our clients, they can, afford to spend that money, but it's not all the businesses here, have that kind of clientele like us.
That
So,
is true.
yeah, so when I'm speaking, I actually speak for other creatives or other businesses, because
Mhm.
we're in this thing together and we want to build a
Yes.
success for our sleepless nights and, call it our babies.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Have you ever been tempted to open another location and incorporate somewhere else where that logistical challenge would be mitigated as well as the payment gateways?
Yes, 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 all the time. We actually have that, that was a part of our business plan. We had
Yeah.
a plan to, yes, and we have we have as I mentioned to you earlier, yes, we think of all the different gateways and stuff and how the products can sell overseas through a website and stuff. Right. So yes, we have looked at other ways how
Yeah.
we can.
Because that might be the next step.
Mhm. Yeah, because we do
Mhm.
have our fashion in other stores, but not overseas. We have
Yeah.
locally, yeah, locally,
Yeah.
and so persons will just order, we ship, or we partner with our suppliers or
Mm-hmm.
our takers, Nigerian stuff, and sometimes I would have. It depends on how costly the item's gonna be. What we do
Yes.
sometimes we just give them the design and they make
Ah,
it and then
over
ship it.
make there. Okay, I see. All
Yes.
right. Well, my coaching advice is that it would be time to incorporate in another hub where the logistics are easier. And
Yes.
even if you're not moving any of your actual um, processes, people, etc., offshore Jamaica, just that you can have that address, that place to accept packaging, maybe do drop shipping, and of course, use different payments. So, if I were coaching you, I feel like that would be the next step because this is a challenge that it's out of your control in terms of the ecosystem and the logistical management infrastructure in your country. So, there's really nothing that you can do. And so, sometimes we have to go to other gardens or expand, not necessarily having a brick and mortar, etc., just a legal entity that will allow you to, sign up for your Stripe, sign up for other payment gateways, do
Right.
Wise, open a bank account, etc. So that would be my coaching advice so that you can reach that multi-million dollar revenue mark that I know that you have as a goal.
Right. But okay, I recall there was this program I did in December. 6 months program. I had and Caribbean Export. It's an
Ah,
accelerator of a virtual, they call it VEEP.
ah,
Virtual, yes.
yes, something like entrepreneur and something. Yes,
Right, right,
yes,
virtual. Yes, we were a part, Shades of Afro was a part of that program. And they did mention a company that facilitate exactly what you just mentioned. And we got
yes,
some information on the company and we need to reach out to them and see how they can incorporate what we're doing. So now that when you mention it now, I remember I had it written down. I said, oh, that would be my next thing to look at.
yes,
But
yes,
not to reinforce it, I think definitely I will go and look at it. Because all I did was to just write it down and say, okay, I'll
yeah.
get to
It's
this.
necessary now.
Yes, I'll get back to this because, I was just thinking, then I was said, okay, let's get on. I will just maybe put it down and then, but now that you mention it,
Yeah.
We can look.
It's the next step.
Yes, that's the next step.
It's the next step. Now, in
Right.
terms of building your team, this is a challenge that many of us face, finding it difficult to find the right employees and partners within our core business. What are some of the best practices that you have used to help you build your team so that you can continue your growth journey?
All right. As Shades of Africa, team spirit is very important to us, and we try to find team. Try to find employees, team members who share the same vision. You know, persons who are hungry for growth, and that so whenever I interview someone for a position, I try to feel their energy, their spirit. Sometimes you can actually feel a person's spirit and how excited they are
Yes.
about the products from the walk through the door. I can sense that energy.
Mhm.
But to be honest, what I do, I will, you have social media, right? So
Yes.
once I go and look at their page, that's
Stalk
what it is.
them. Yeah. Yes.
Once it comes in and the applications comes in, I Google the person first. What do I need
Mhm.
to do? I was like, okay, let's Google this one. I read through the thing and say, okay, let's Google this one. And then we go on the page and see what the personality is like and if it fits into our brand, because it's very
Mm.
important. We make it our top priority to ensure that the persons who we are employing, fits the image of Shades of Africa. So we do that before we even think about their talents. We look at the
Mm.
personality, you know, and then you'll ask yourself, do you want this person to represent us? Do you want this person to work in our organization? So that is one thing. Even before social media come, before even social media, I used to work with the energies, what energy this person brings, and 99% of the time I am right. Because
Yeah.
I feel the person
Mhm.
and stuff and listen to the person's stories, the energies and stuff like that. And because we are a designer house and we'll, put them through the process of testing in terms of clothing, design, colors, and we have a process. It's gonna
Yes.
be a lot if I try to explain it from one to two, but what we
Right.
look for is somebody who share our vision, someone who's hungry, somebody who's of certain high moral principles. We
Mhm.
definitely look for those persons. And then we do a 6 month training. We
Mm.
don't just put them on say start working. We have a
Right.
process.
Right.
Yes. So we train you, explain to you what our clientele are. We show you the machine, you know, everything. Once we employ you.
Mhm.
We don't really
Mhm.
employ you the 6 months. What we do, we train you and see how you progress with other you, and then we kind of score you to
Mhm.
see if, and then now we do pay you for those training, but
Mm.
after a while if it doesn't fit into our, what
Yes.
we do, we can at once sometimes if I see this person really has a potential, they're at a training institution here that they
Mm.
can go and, probably spend some time on their skill and their craft or whatever
Okay.
field that they come to us with, depending on and what's the vacancy at that present time. So we'll try to get them into the institutions and stuff to get some
Mm.
more training.
Mm.
But
Well,
basically,
it's a very thorough process.
yes, it's a very thorough because almost all the client of all the employees that we have over the years have been with us like forever. Some move on to their own businesses, same creatives and stuff. And they go on and sometimes, it's funny, sometimes they will see me and they will say, Miss Cameron, it's because of you I am so and so, because of you, certain little things I didn't know I could do and know to implement it in their business and. So it feels good to know that, you know, you helped them and they were able to go on and do the same. I mean, not the same thing that, you know, African clothing,
Yeah.
but as a designer, they were able to use the same method that we use in terms of trying to get help. When they're trying to get help in their organization, they use the same method. And because once you show us that you know you can do your work, what we do, we try to
Yes.
help you. Yeah, we help you, we train you, and it's up to you if you want to stay or not, you know. But
Yes.
most of them, even they go on their own, you see they come back a couple times. If I'm doing a show, you hear, oh, Miss Cameron, can I come and help you? And can we do
Mm.
this, do that? So yes, so that is a process really that we used, and it have been working so far. Yeah, and we do have a company manual too, which
Okay,
it's
so
a
you have
pre-market.
your operating procedures and
Yes,
the yes.
we
Okay,
have everything
right.
because, as you said, we do have an advisor. You know, so we have an advisor board. So
Yes.
we have the books in place in terms of training manuals and everything in place. So they have something to guide them as they come, you know,
Yes, yes,
so they
yes.
don't have to
So these
wonder.
are yes, these are best practices, Tanya. And I used to be a general manager. I also, a board chair now. Of course, I run my own entity. I've used to be in HR, and I always used to tell managers when I used to be in HR, I used to tell them, you can teach skill, but you cannot change attitude. So hire first for attitude because skill is something that you can learn. Attitude, you cannot learn. And so I agree with you about understanding people's energies, seeing if they're a fit in terms of their attitude, their willingness to learn, their willingness to be coached, etc. Because if people don't have the right attitude, they could have all the skill. It's just not going to be a fit. So I agree certainly with you there. Now, as we close, because I know it's been a long day for you, I want you to tell our audience, those entrepreneurs who are in the Caribbean and they are ready to export, particularly those in creatives, in fashion, what would you say would be the first step that they need to take? um, before delving out into the export space? Or maybe they're already exporting, but they want to expand. What are some best practices or advice you would have for them?
Well, my advice would be to get to know your market that you want to get into. You know the policies, because you know some markets they have regulations and stuff like that. So you'll have
It's
to
very true.
you do a research on the market that you want to export to, see, and try get maybe a lawyer. Whatever I do, I
Mm,
will see counsel. So
yes.
you know, like a legal line. Because if you know if you're getting into a market, you want to know all the pros and the cons of getting into that market or the legalities and stuff. So my first thing to get a legal person to a counsel to help you. I'm talking about what we do. We try to find agents in the market, somebody who can do the footwork to
Mhm.
test the market, and we'll send samples to the agents, and they will try and see if there's a market, a target market, because there's certain, you have to know your target market, so
Yes.
we'll send sample products, and those agents will go out. Not just any agents, you have to find the very good ones too. Sometimes it might be a little costly, but it works better in the end.
Mhm.
So you found an agent, you can form a partnership, like a split. You get a
Yes.
commission if you get certain orders and stuff. And in that case, you don't really pay much.
Mhm.
Maybe that's the samples and sending the shipping and stuff you pay, but and you definitely have to know your market. You have to know the clients that you want to target. You don't want to, if you're trying a high-end store, you have to ensure that's a high-end store. It's not like not a high-end store. So you have to know your market and know who you want to, I always picture our design and our clients, or the clients who want to wear our clothes, and where do we want our clothes to be
Yes.
showcased.
Yes.
You won't always said, okay, I remember I was doing this fashion show overseas, and then I said, okay, send us who do you expect to be at this
Yes. Event.
show? Who's going to be there? I mean, what type of people, what they do, how much income can they afford it, and
Right.
do you have Afrocentric people? Are those people coming on Afrocentric?
Mhm.
I mean, you want us to cover
Right.
this? We want to know, you know, I mean, how is it beneficial to us that we're going to show up there? So we want to know that we're actually marketing to our target, target
Mhm.
market. So after he came back and said so and so, I said, but that's not our target market. We're
Right.
out.
Correct.
This
And
person's
that's
not.
really important, Tanya, because sometimes entrepreneurs just think that any exposure is good exposure, but traveling and doing these trade shows and expos, it's costly, right? Even if you are getting some assistance, it's still going to incur cost. And so I like that concept of interrogating and asking the questions to make sure that you're showing up in a space that is in alignment with your brand positioning, because if not, then it's just a waste of resources.
Right, that is so true, because and even sometimes you can overly expose yourself too, because for
Mhm.
instance, if you're say you do high-end clothes and then you're at a fashion show that's it's not seems to be your brand, and then you have your clients now seeing that image, and they will be
Yes.
confused.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, like why is Shade here? And I thought I'm dealing with a high-end luxury brand, but
Yes,
they're, showcasing in the same place with people who are at Walmart.
yes,
So
yes,
now I'm like, wondering if Shades of Africa is the right fit for me, because
yes.
you know, right. So I get that. Yes.
Because over the years, we have gotten so many. I remember person would say, "Oh, but you got to go. You had this show to do in Europe. Why didn't you show?" Like some of the model agencies here, they will have their models of all over the world, and then they will see our designs, and they will say, "Okay, get Shades of Africa in to come and do this." And when I started to question them, and they were like, "Oh, but we're giving you the promotion and stuff," I said, "But that's, I mean." Well, that's not going to help us. I mean, we're coming all the way. Time is money, one.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, your market, they're not even going to even look at our clothing, because, we normally like do a due diligence. And I said, but this doesn't make sense. This kind of
Mhm.
exposure we really do not need. Not for
Right.
a brand and stuff like that. So it's not every show you're supposed to show up to. That's I would want to say. It's not every opportunity you should jump at. You're supposed to wait, you do diligence, and find if it's a part of your target market. Because I know a lot of creatives here who have lost a lot of money going to all these shows. That does not make, at the end of the day, they don't even make a dime, or they don't even get a hundred,
Right.
you
Mhm.
know? And they'll be doing it over and over and over and over, and the same results.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
important when you're exporting, you don't want to have a very expensive jewelry going to a wrong store. And then, you have to, as I said, you have to know your brand, you have to know your market. And then the same thing with investors. If you're getting persons to invest in your business, you have to question them too. You know, I question, I was telling a friend of mine, you need to question them. Why do you
Yes.
share my product? You want to know about them. I mean, how many which other business have you invested in, and you want to go and do a research on that business? How is that business? So you have to, the same thing when you're exporting, you have to know all that too. Who are you selling to? Who are these people? with this company if you're, you know, selling to individual or a company. So that's but as I said, you just have to do your due diligence, and if it's possible, get 1 or 2 agents overseas. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a classmate, it could be someone. Just test the waters first.
Yes.
Because I know with social media, so many things are at you. Every day you're going to email all these opportunities and they look so beautiful. It's like, yeah, I get my products to sell on Amazon. Oh, I get but what? How much will it cost you to get there? But go global is very, very, very good. But as I said, you have to know your market and know, you know, and then
Yes.
know where you come in. You coach them and let them know the right way, because I learned a lot from your program.
Thank
And
you.
yes, every day, you know, that's why I say I'm so close to you all the time. I'm back and forth with
Yes.
you. And yes, because you bring a certain energy, certain life for business, you know, which we, as Shades of Africa, will be eternally grateful for.
Oh,
Yes,
thank you, Tanya.
yes,
Thank
yes.
you so much.
It was during that period when everything looked so bleak.
I know, right?
COVID, and oh my God, I want someone to hold our hands, and there you were.
Yes, yes,
It made
yes.
it made it easier for us to continue, because you know we need that help, and you came in on such a wonderful, a great time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you for that. So Tanya, tell everyone where they can reach you. It's on the screen. She has her WhatsApp, her website, her email, her Instagram. But pitch your service, pitch your business, do your elevator pitch, and then we will close out.
Elevator pitch. Okay, all right. My name is Tanya Cameron, Managing Director, Shades of Africa. We're in the business for 20 years, 20 fabulous years, regardless of the challenges, still fabulous. We are growing, and that's important. And we're online at shadesofafricajm.com. We're also on all the different social media. You can find us on Instagram, Shades of Africa, Facebook, Shades of Africa. We're an Afrocentric company in Jamaica. So if you want to look fabulous, if you have your own fabric, you can say, and look here, we're global. 50% of our clients, we have never actually meet face to face, and they get the same services as if you walk into the store, the same quality products as if you walk into Shades of Africa office in Kingston, Jamaica. So wherever you are in the world, we ship to you, and we can make your fabulous clothing. And if you want to learn more about us,
Yeah.
you go on our Shades of Africa page. All the information is there. And if you need any additional information, you can WhatsApp us, 876-797-7591. And we'll be so happy to make you look fabulous, because that's what we do. You know, we have some nice little testimonials on our page. You know, I take pride in them, because, you know, each time we do something for a client and they send us this nice little testimonial, you know, it makes you feel happy. You know, you're doing the right thing. You're creating that experience for our clients, because that's what we do. You have a problem, we solve it, you know? So that's Shades of Africa.
All right. So,
Thank
Tanya,
you.
we had some technical difficulties, but it was an awesome, very educational and inspiring conversation. So, I love you and I love to see the growth of your business. Your son reminds me of my son, so tell him good night as well and keep going and growing, Tanya.
Thank you. He's oh my God, I told you he's my rock. His name is Dominic. He's
All
15
right.
years
Good night.
old, but I'm telling you, he's
He's like
smart young
45
man.
in
So
wisdom. Yeah, 45 in wisdom. All right. Good night, Tanya. Good night. And this will be up by tomorrow. Bye bye.
yes.
Good
Oh my
night.
gosh. Having shades of